Hi, everyone. I'm Ed Millan, and it's my pleasure to be here today to host the 9th Filipino Hollywood Actors Panel. This is my third time moderating the panel, and I do want to thank our producer, Edwin A. Santos, for inviting me back. And I want to, of course, thank our friends at the Filipino Hollywood Chamber for helping to produce this event. This event started several years ago with Philam Creative, and I'm a board member and founder of that group. So we're happy to support this event. Perhaps you've also seen me on the web series Rise and Shine. I hope you will watch that. And perhaps some of these fabulous actors who we're going to meet today will be hosts or guests on that show as well. So today we've got 3 wonderful, talented actors we're going to bring out today. And in the back is Edwin, who's going to be running some great videos that we can see. And so if you're just tuning in now, sit back, relax, go ahead and grab your phone if you want, and text your friends if you don't see them on yet, but let them know that for the next couple of hours, we're going to be here and we're going to have a great show for you today. We hope that you enjoy everything that we have for you. And if you do have questions, feel free to post them wherever you're watching us. We know that some of you are watching us here on Zoom, some of you are watching on Facebook, some of you are watching through Twitch. So wherever you're watching, feel free to bring in those questions at some point, and we're going to try and get to as many of them as we can, because we have 3 very talented individuals we're going to bring out very soon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and learn a little bit about the Filipino Hollywood Actors Panel before we bring out our actors. So Edwin, I know he can hear me back there backstage. Edwin's going to play a great video for you. Welcome to the panel.
For me, how I overcame those things, I kept working on what I can do. I would do non-paying theater jobs just to keep working, because if I just wait, this is not going to develop, you know. And I kind of use that chip, you know, to my advantage, and really honed in on who I am. And I can be an intense person, and I like that. And I think from then on, just keep on working and failing so many times. That helped me. And when I got that really big break of Versace, I was ready for it. I was ready for it, and I grabbed it. You know, the opportunity grabs you, and you grab onto that opportunity.
The Actors Panel, they hope to give important tools to aspiring on and off camera talents so that they are better prepared for life in Hollywood.
I'm very happy that from their experiences they were able to provide insight of the craft of acting and the business of acting to the new actors in the audience. A lot of our parents disregard us from getting into entertainment, which, you know, there's no money, it's a struggle, it's very difficult, and I like to provide those to pursue their dreams in entertainment, and to hear from others who have finally broken that glass ceiling.
I feel so inspired. I am just so excited to see more Filipino Americans in the entertainment industry, and we can be a part of this. We are a part of this.
A big thing that I would say for other actors is, because of that, like, take your work seriously. Go do your homework so that you're ready for that audition, but don't take yourself seriously. Yeah, you're an actor. Decided to be an actor. It's crazy. You're crazy. You're a crazy human being. So
you're not curing cancer.
Yeah, you're not curing cancer. You're pretending to be another human being.
Okay, so we hope you enjoyed that video. So I'm going to go ahead and start bringing out our actors. We're going to start with Carolyn Fay. So before I bring Carolyn out, let me read a little bit about Carolyn Fay. She's a late blooming Filipino-Canadian award-winning trilingual actress and an award-winning singer-songwriter, lyricist, and former contemporary dancer and choreographer, excuse me. At an age when her peers have long established themselves or are thinking of retiring, Carolyn's continuous pursuit of artistic evolution adds new instruments to her creative portfolio as a writer and a playwright. She's currently in 2 residencies, developing plays, one about reincarnation and another one based on a horror short story that she wrote. You might have seen her in such places as she was in Nickelodeon's children's shows Blue's Clues and You, and she was Madame Z in the award-winning French series Milur Avant. So let's go ahead and let's welcome her, Carolyn Fay. Welcome, Carolyn.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great. Well, we've got good news. We're also going to show a little video about you. So let's check that out. Edwin, let's play that video of Carolyn.
Oh, hi, Joshy. Hi, Blue. I'm getting ready for bed, and that means I'm wearing my bunny slippers. Oh. Good night, Josh and Blue. Mwah. Mahal kita. I love you.
Pow, pow, pow. Mahal kita.
All right. Oh.
Så snart hun snur seg bort, kunne jeg sverge på at for 1 sekund der ville man nesten tro at hun kunne se rett gjennom meg. Før så gjorde det meg livredd. Men nå tror jeg faktisk at jeg kommer til å savne henne.
Ceci n'est pas du cinéma. C'est la réalité des personnes vivant de la violence conjugale.
Darling. Alam mo ba ang tawag sa mga lalaki na hindi kaya gawin yan? Inutil. Walang silbi. Gusto mo bang kuya mo ay...
Ma'am?
Ma'am? Okay lang, Ma'am. Ma'am? Okay lang.
Ma'am?
Sino ka?
Mom.
Kala, paano siya nakapasok dito? Sino siya?
Do you remember this, right? I was just gonna tell her that I was gonna wear it tonight. It's me, Mom. Charles.
Quel poète. And you are a sweet talker, Eddie. But he's right, folks. We're here to stay.
Madame Z est demandée au bureau. Madame Z, immédiatement.
Ben, préparez-vous.
Bastos. C'est la guerre.
Why do you want to go back so badly?
Because it's home, Joe.
This isn't home?
Of course it is. It's where you and your mama are, and so it's home. But the Philippines is where my body was born. It was where my first words and thoughts were connected. It's where I get my skin color. I wonder what would happen if I go back. Would my blood finally get the vitamins I've always needed? Would my eczema disappear? Would I be young again?
I'm sorry, Lola. I hope you get to go back soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Edwin, for that reel. And Carolyn, we are so happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about our second panelist today. Her name is Martha Millan. And Martha is an Australian Filipino raised in Sydney. She was recently seen in the feature film The Drummer with Danny Glover, and prior to that on the network anthology series Two Sentence Horror Stories and the series Succession. So she was enthralled after doing her first play in high school, and she studied at the University of Sydney and then in New York City, where she graduated from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. She made her daytime television debut on the soap opera As the World Turns, and she was also seen on Strong Medicine in a memorable role on Third Watch. And you might have also seen her in such projects as Madame Secretary, The OA, Entourage, and SIS, as well as the Law and Order franchise, including Law and Order Criminal Intent, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and of course, Law and Order. On film, she appears in My Dead Boyfriend opposite Heather Graham, and other film credits include The Great New Wonderful opposite Jim Parsons, and Falling for Grace. And while appearing in many national and international commercials, Millan has also modeled extensively throughout the United States and the world as one of the worldwide faces of Clairol Natural Instincts and the face of Nooch, a restaurant in New York City. And Edwin is going to play Martha's reel.
Oh, no.
Hey. Hey, what's wrong? You do this when you're spinning out. What's wrong?
I need your van. I'm taking Luca to the clinic today.
Okay, let's talk. Okay, there's a reason why most DNTs won't step foot in a hospital. If you march in there and you talk to the wrong person, you're screwed. Okay, we need to stay invisible.
No, I'm done waiting. Every day puts Luca at risk. What if something happens to me?
If anything happened, simba ko palayo. Okay, I got Luca. But if there's something you want to talk about now,
I just need your keys.
just don't get pulled over.
Mom, are you okay?
I'm better now. Listen, I left some money under my mattress, okay? The rent is due on the 5th. All the bills are all online. Jazz, call your dad and tell him what's going on. Chris, call that immigration attorney, please.
We did, but he said he couldn't do anything.
What? But he took my money.
It's okay, Mom. We'll figure it out.
I love you. I'm so sorry. I didn't want this, okay? I love you both. No matter what happens, always remember that.
We love you too, Mom. We'll get you out, okay? Auntie T is doing everything she can to help.
Wait. Tony's out? Put her on. Okay, they're coming. Just tell Tony.
She's not here right now, but she's... Mom.
I have a name.
Then I don't care what it is. It's time to go. Now move it.
Am I being released? My sister-in-law who came with me, she's out. Just tell me. I'm here.
Kristen, this is D. Santos, News One. All right, let's go on up here. The protesters are coming from Buffalo, Elmira, Ithaca, and Rochester. So what I was hoping is that we get some coverage of them on the road.
Okay, how many people are we talking about?
500 maybe.
That's all?
This is 2008, not 1968.
Okay. If I could get information on the protesters.
Yeah, I can get you some stuff. All right.
Thank you for coming.
Maria, I'm so sorry that Dad didn't get to see him before he went.
Yeah, he was asking for Logan.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Maria. You know, I never met Mo, but I heard that he was just a great guy.
Mo?
Your husband?
We're so sorry. His name's not Mo.
I was the executive assistant for Mr. Andrada's supermarkets for 7 years. I saw many things happen with the female employees while I was there. Some received money and left. Some never spoke about it and stayed. I myself was never sexually harassed.
I'm afraid there was some kind of miscommunication.
No, I did receive a payment from Mr. Andrada, and I told your embassy employee that it was hush money for unwanted sexual advances. But the truth is, the payment that I received was to keep quiet about something else. Something much bigger, more damaging. I will tell you the truth, Madam Secretary, on one condition.
Which is what?
You must grant me asylum here in the United States. I won't be able to go back home after I tell you.
I don't give a fuck how you want to play it. This is my band. The day you start a band and I come for tryouts, that's when you can tell me how to do it. Fuck off! Oh, try the Village Vanguard. They love jazz. Don't waste my time and don't waste beautiful Cock's time. If you've got a problem with that, door's over there. Next.
What? You want another medal?
Mom, I'm the one who has 2 jobs because you can't work. But it's crazy to expect you to act like an adult for once.
What? Just what?
I don't even know. I worked so hard for this.
Yes, you've worked so hard, but you do not know what life is, Alfonso. You don't know how hard it really gets. What, you don't think I had dreams like yours? I lived in Paris, but I'm here with you.
That's so bad.
No, listen. You are strong. Yes. But you do not know everything. Okay? You only see what I haven't done. But what about what I have given you? What I have done? Giving you some kind of life that can make this happen. I'm proud of you, yes. You got this medal, but I do not need this to be the man you will be. Okay, you will be the man you will be, no matter what.
What did you hear last night?
An argument. Some kind of fight.
Both of you?
No, just me. Tammy was at work.
Yeah, I don't get off from dancing till after 3.
Any idea who she had the fight with?
No. But, it sounded pretty rough.
Was it male or female voice?
Definitely male.
You know Rachel well?
Rachel and I were friendly.
You know anyone who would want to hurt her?
Didn't you say there was, some guy that was hassling her?
Yeah, the guy wouldn't stop calling her. She said she was gonna get a restraining order. I think his name was, Hector something. Hey!
These are my friends.
Hey, this is my mother.
How you doing?
Vince.
Yes.
Hi. How are you? And you're E,
Yeah,
right?
how'd you know that?
Yeah, no, Dom showed me so many pictures of you guys when you were children.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so glad to see you all together. I know how angry you were after what he did.
Tom told you about that.
Oh, he tells me everything. Yeah, we made a pact before we had little Izzy.
Mom. Careful up the steps, Mom. Easy.
Wow. Tom's a dad.
Can you believe he's the best dad?
Unbelievable.
He is.
All right, welcome to the panel, Martha Millan.
Thank you.
Okay, and we've got one more panelist today. We are about to meet in just a couple of minutes, Melody Butiu, and she plays Tita Yvonne in the upcoming film Easter Sunday with somebody you might know named Jokoy. It's coming August 5th at theaters near you. She has also appeared in plays and musicals across the country, including on Broadway in Dr. Zhivago and off-Broadway in David Byrne's Here Lies Love at the Public Theater, which I actually got to see. And she has also been in regional theater appearances such as Theater Under the Stars, the Jiva Theater Center, Arena Stage, the Rev Theater Company, and the Denver Center for Performing Arts. Other film and TV credits include Call Me Kat, Mom, This Is Us, The Kaminsky Method, NCIS LA, Kingdom, and Gotham. So we're going to now see Melody's Reel. So Edwin, if you could play that.
It's bullshit. An indictment should be a slam dunk.
I know, but Philip Dayton knows how to work the system. He convinced the judge to hold a probable cause hearing.
Well, we have enough for probable cause, right? I'd watched her hand that guy a gun and tell him to shoot that kid.
And I'll have you testify to that. I just wish we had some physical evidence that tied Sands to either Dr. Iles's kidnapping or the murder of that trooper in Maine. But your testimony will put Sands behind bars, at least for a while.
Name? Ma'am, there's been a mistake. I'm not meant to go upstate. I need to talk to James Gordon. He's a cop.
You'll be allowed a phone call when you get upstate. Name?
I need to talk to him now. He'll thank you for it.
Not happening. Name?
Bite me, Piggerina.
Jane Doe. Oh, I remember him well. Marine uniform, well-spoken, everything all organized in a leather-bound folder. I liked him immediately, but I couldn't give him a loan.
Why not?
No credit history, and on his salary, I had doubts about his ability to pay it back. He showed me some paperwork. It didn't look right. Accounted for cash flow only, no assets. I told him to be careful, but he said he trusted his contact. Well, it's cute, aren't they? It's a hospital tradition.
Get them out of here now.
Why?
Because my husband is terrified of balloons. He was once molested by a clown.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I got it. What's going on?
I'm sorry, sir. We didn't know about the clown.
Why does that say Connor?
I hate the name Maynard.
Really? I like it. Get out. Well, basically, she told me she took care of abusive husbands. She gave me a cell number. My ex-husband showed up one night like he would do when he was drunk. I called the police, and I called her. She got there first.
What happened?
She broke both his legs. I told him next time it would be his neck. Miss Powell?
Sorry, we're late. We lost track of time.
Third time this week Mr. Minor has lost track of time.
But his dad called and he had to talk to him.
Miss Powell, this doesn't concern you.
Chris doesn't deserve detention. Just give him one last warning.
Maybe you don't deserve detention, but consider this your last warning. Now find your seats. Your brother had some nasty food poisoning. His fever's down from 105, but it's still quite high, so I'd like to admit him for observation.
I'm fine. I'm just normally hotter.
Yeah, it's true. Our family were naturally warm.
Huh. That's strange.
See? Can I just go home, please?
Get changed. I'll grab the discharge instructions.
All right, so at this time, we would like to welcome Melody Butiu. Melody, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. I enjoyed watching all three reels. Thank you, Edwin, backstage, taking care of tech for us today. We know that a lot of you are tuning in a little later. Let's just say you joined us midway through. So again, for those of you who are new here, didn't come right at the beginning, welcome, whether you're watching us on Twitch or on Facebook, or here on Zoom. I'm Ed Millan. I'm the host of the 9th Hollywood Actors Panel. I'm also the host and producer of the series Rise and Shine with Film Creative. And I'm here with Carolyn Fay, Melanie Butiu, and Martha Millan. And we're here today to talk about their wonderful achievements and their hopes and dreams and aspirations. So for those of you who are watching, whether you are watching on Facebook or Twitch or Zoom, go ahead and send in those questions, and we're going to get to them as soon as we can. I see a lot of questions already here on Zoom, and I'm getting plant in my ear that we've got a lot on Facebook as well and on Twitch. So I know a lot are coming, but I'm going to go ahead and start the ball rolling with some questions as we continue to enjoy our company today for the next little while. So ladies, before we get too knee deep in, maybe we could start with this. When did you all decide that you wanted to become actors? Maybe we could start with Carolyn, and then to Martha, and then to Melody. So when did you think about becoming an actor?
The moment, I think it started the moment I stepped into a ballet studio. That was age 5. I knew right away. And of course, being of Filipino descent from a Filipino family, arts is just a hobby, right? You're going to get a good job, a doctor, lawyer, dentist, whatever, administrator. But I knew from a long time. Yeah.
Martha?
Yeah, no, for me, I discovered it during high school. I was doing a play, The Importance of Being Earnest, Oscar Wilde, and I played Gwendolyn. And it was just an elective, and I just had so much fun being on, just performing in front of everybody. But it was kind of like more of a curiosity. It wasn't something that I'm like, this is what I have to do. And I think it was more just to try to get out of going to university. Pretty much. So yeah, that's kind of when, and then after that, like I did defer a year from university to study at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I got accepted there, and you know, once that happened, I was like, that's it. I was locked in. That's my path.
And how about Melody?
So also coming from a Filipino family, the arts, you know, like Carolyn said, was a big part growing up. My parents sang, they loved to perform. And I remember my mom, I don't even remember this event, but my mom said when I was 3 years old, there was like a big, we were in New York, and there was a big Filipino Association picnic, community picnic, and there was a stage and a mic, and she said, you ran up to that stage and you just started singing in the mic. I was like, I did? I don't know. But so it performing and being on stage has kind of been in my DNA since I was a kid. But acting, I didn't come to it until I was more in high school, and I started doing musicals. And then when I was in college, I started doing straight plays and other forms of theater. And I was with a theater company called Here and Now, and I just really had a love of storytelling and also just telling our stories. And those were kind of the pivotal moments in coming into this career.
Here and Now with
John
and Rona.
Yes.
John and Rona.
Yes.
Love
so
them.
Many years ago. Yeah.
You know, I heard a very common denominator when you guys were giving your answers, talking about family support. And a lot of times, you know, when you talk with Filipino American artists, that seems to come up a lot about, you know, the I don't want to call it the cliche, but the stereotype that, you know, oh, you know, you shouldn't do this. It doesn't make a lot of money. Get a 9-to-5 job. Talk about maybe we could go around again. Talk about the level of support that you got from your family, and maybe compare it to now, because now obviously all three of you have reached a great level of notoriety. And so talk about, you know, was it a difficult time convincing them or looking for support? And now here, years later, you've got a lot more notoriety, more credits to your name. Talk about the relationship with your family and the level of support. Carolyn?
I didn't get the support. Just throwing it out there straight. I didn't get the support for wanting to be an artist. It was rough. It was very hard to forge my own way. I did do a stint in the corporate world, but it was on my own terms. I owned my own HR recruiting science and technology company. I was a headhunter. But what that gave me was the wherewithal in the business world to bring it back to the arts. So with that, I was able to forge ahead. When I didn't have an agent in the beginning, I was able to negotiate my own contracts to my advantage, to my safety. That was pre-union days before I joined ACTRA or Equity and the French Union des Artistes. I was able to negotiate. So there was something to be learned, but to do the 9 to 5 and coming from an HR background, change jobs to do the same thing and call it a challenge, I just couldn't. I couldn't. Whereas in the arts, performing arts, being a creative, we could do that. We could do different things every single day, every minute it changes. I'm not sure if I still have the support of my family, but all I know is I forged my own trail and I'm doing it. It was a lonely trail, but in the end, I sleep well at night. In the morning, I can look at myself in the mirror and say, that was an honest dollar I just banked. So that's my trail. Yeah.
Amen.
Is it my turn? Sorry. Yeah, no, I was actually quite fortunate to have support in terms of, they weren't exactly like, go be an actor, da da da. No, it wasn't like that. It was more or less just like, if this is what you really want to do, then we're behind you in every way. It was something that I think, my parents, as all immigrants, really struggled, not struggled, but, faced challenges when they immigrated to Australia, that to give us those opportunities that we can choose. And I think, like, coming from my father and my mother, seeing that there was an opportunity for me to pursue it, and if something that I wanted to do, they were actually very supportive. And but it was all about, like, just make sure you get your education and everything. I was like, yeah. And I said, okay, fine, I'll get my education studying drama, So with that, after getting into the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and after graduating, I was lucky enough to start working right afterwards, that, I was financially supporting myself, that my parents really couldn't say, well, you need to go back to school now. And after that, I was just like, you can't go back after you've had so much of that. But yeah, I think, like, to this day, they've seen me go through, like, awful roller coasters and amazing, bounds and leaps. So the unconditional support that and love and patience that they gave me is just, for me, it's ineffable. I can't describe just how grateful I am for that. And to this day, they're just like, well, I guess it paid off, but they've definitely seen me go through so much heartbreak and so many near misses and calls that, for them, it's also the ride of an artist, seeing their child go through that. Same with my sister, where she went through the corporate route. She's like, she's a fintech right now, but she was a banker at JP Morgan, everything. But they all have supported me and have seen just the plight of an artist, and just kind of, really fulfilling your dreams and persevering. That's what they said. I was zooming them yesterday, and they were just like, it's the perseverance, the determination, without that. But honestly, without them, I don't know how I would have been as well. So yeah, that's my experience.
I kind of fall in between, because my parents didn't discourage me. And my mom's side of the family actually has artists. Like my lolo, Simon, was a big band leader in the Philippines. He played the violin, he played the clarinet. He passed away when my mom was young, when she was a teenager. And then my lola was a painter. But she did that for herself. It wasn't her career. She also ran a fruit stand, that kind of thing. And my mom, she played guitar. She was like, she led the choir when she was in college, but she became a career nurse. And so they valued the arts. They just found a way to balance it with another career. And for when I started performing in high school, my mom got sick when I was very young. So she passed away when I was 17. But at the times where she was able to come and see me perform, she was such a stage mom. She would sit in the corner and be like, you have to smile more and dance, make sure you move, engage the audience. So she was always encouraging that side of me. And even though she wasn't around to kind of see the evolution of my career, and my dad was, we understand that as immigrant families, they want especially when we're younger, they want to see their children, that they're taken care of, that they're safe, that they've got a safety net. And often that comes with like a 9-to-5 job, or that's the perception. But he has been, you have a gift, you should share it. Okay. Well, but also, if I hit a bump in the road, well, you could be, try to find other jobs for me and that kind of thing in the past. Now how it's evolved, I mean, I remember, like, with my extended family, they said I should be a nurse, should be a nurse like your mom. And that had been encouraged when I was much younger. And my aunt and uncle came to see me perform in a show when I was in college, and we were touring, and I performed in San Francisco, and they came to see the show. And my aunt, who's a doctor, she put some money in my hand, and she was like, good luck to you. And that was the last time they told me I should be a nurse. So I guess that's like how it's evolved a little bit. I mean, I've had cousins, and they're all encouraging. They've come to see shows that I've been in, and they're no longer telling me that I should be a nurse. So that's good. That's good. And they're very supportive and encouraging and proud of how far I've come. So.
Great.
Yeah.
A word that's very common with not just with actors, but with artists, with writers, fear. That's a word that comes up a lot. Fear. Talk about your greatest fear from when you were starting as an actor, and even now as a more established one. What kind of fears do you as actors face, and how does that motivate you? Let's start with Carolyn. This order seems to work. So.
Fear. Oh my God. Fear motivates me. Fear puts the fire on my behind. Fear is my turbo jet. Going against parents' wishes is as a Filipino, it's already bad. So being left alone is very fearful. And with that, I kind of learned to use it to be my motivator, to keep me going. There's an acronym for fear that I've learned, and it stays there. It's fear is false evidence appearing real. So with that in my mind, burned in my brain, it just makes me go right through the fear and go get what I want to fulfill my soul as an artist. But it does take hours off my sleep at night, fear, for whatever I'm afraid of at the moment, or what I'm living through. Fear is always there. Fear of losing it all. Today's win is nothing when you wake up the next day. I mean, we have these resumes or curriculum vitae of what we have done, but the reality is, who and where are we now, right now? I'm not going to live off of my resume and all of what I have done, although the industry looks at it. But it's what I can offer you now for who I am and as real as I can be. And all that can be taken away in any second. And that's a fear for me. Yeah.
Martha?
I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, I mean, when you're young, you're fearless, like nothing, I don't care. Everything is just like, you don't know anything. So you got nothing to fear, right? So that's why I think like it was such a great time for me when I was like 18. Oh God, now I'm dating myself. Moving to New York and just kind of like diving in. It was never, I don't think there was a fear of, it was more or less just wanting, just curiosity. I don't know if I could call it fear. It was just like wanting to find out where this could take me, where I could go with it. Why do I have this desire? And the only fear was of like, oh my God, I don't want to go back to Australia yet. That was like I was like, not yet. But in terms of like my career or like at that age, you know, when you're starting, everything is possible. And then it's like the weirdest thing for me, my like journey was that, yes, you come, you know, you're so fearless, you go out and you do your thing. Everybody's just like, just, you know, supporting you. But then once you get to this midpoint, I think for me anyway, that's when fear set in, because you're learning a lot as you are working and all the things that, you know, you didn't know. And then so that kind of is more a hindrance, but it was never a fear. It was more or less just, I don't know how to put it. I mean, I travel alone a lot. Everybody's like, aren't you scared something's going to happen to you? You're a woman. And then I was like, what are you going to do? You know, it's just like, that was something that I just never, I think it's more nerves or anything like that. And fear for me is just, I don't know. I can't describe it. I think I get scared alone at home in my new house. That's fear for me. When it comes to career, it's more like, what I'm doing. I don't question it. This is just something that I love to do, and I'm just going to go for it. If I fell flat on my face, that's it. That's what I've done. And I just pick myself up. But now the fear is like, it's not about a fear. I try not to even kind of look at it as that way. It's more or less, it's like, all right, what else can I discover? I know that was kind of a convoluted answer, but
no.
I love it. Oh my goodness. I'm like, I'm happy I'm here at this TED Talk. Come on, people. This is so good. It's so good.
Over to you, Melody.
Oh my goodness. Fear. I mean, I know that for me, it's more kind of battling my own demons, my own insecurities, the stories that I tell myself, which I might know in my head are not true, and yet they keep popping up. And so I have to wrestle with that and know that my most authentic self, who I am, the story I have to tell, my point of view is important and should be told and needs to be told. And I deserve to be here. You know, I think over the years, I'm finding, okay, what are my strong suits and what are my limitations, or, you know, because we can't be everything to everyone. We can't fit into every single mold. When you're younger, you're just like, you want to go for everything and be in everything and every show, and I'm going to go for it. And it's okay that not everything is for you, you know, but finding the places where it fits, like where I'm right in the pocket and can be my most joyful present self has always been great. I saw this great little TikTok the other day. I'm not even on TikTok. I saw it on Instagram. But it was this girl was just like, what did she say? She said, just because you think it doesn't mean that it's true. Your brain's a little bitch and likes to lie to you. Because sometimes it does, you know, oftentimes, you know, people are like, don't listen to what other people say, just listen to your heart. I'm like, sometimes listening to myself is not always the answer either. I have to like excavate that and be like, okay, this story that I'm telling myself or what I think is true, is it? And then how can I challenge it? And if I feel at peace with it, because if I feel at peace with it, then there's some truth to it. But if it makes me anxious or makes me angry or makes me upset, then I'm like, then that's not your truth. Then that's okay. So my kind of journey with fear and insecurities has to kind of do with that, like always trying to find the center and find my truth and be in present and in a good place as I'm continuing in this crazy roller coaster of a business.
Absolutely. Here's one for you. If acting never paid as much as it can pay, and the most you could hope for would be a regular working class type living, would you still be acting?
That's
what
yeah.
I am.
Oh, hell yeah.
I got a yeah, a hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say something. This person asked me the other day, not the other day, just it was such a crazy question. He was just like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, why would someone want to go in a vocation where only 3% of the whole industry works, constantly being rejected, and 3% of those who are working are basically getting the whole financial rewards, and you guys are struggling. Why would you want to do that? And I was like, I don't know, but we are doing it. And it was the first time that was ever proposed to me about why we do that, and it wasn't for the money then, clearly. I mean, I'm like, well, no, I would still want to do it because I kind of love doing it. So it's funny.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I've worked jobs from like tiny little black box theaters to, short films that don't pay anything to, doing a movie, a studio movie. So it's just like, it's all the ups and downs and everything in between. And I am absolutely a working class actor. Yep. I have not risen above that.
I think it's about finding consistency, I think that's all we ever kind of want to look for, because we know how unstable this vocation is, that if we just find just some kind of semblance of like consistency
and community too, the people that you connect with, because everyone goes through it. So in the downtimes, you find things that inspire you, you uplift and support other people around you, you celebrate other people's wins, and know that it's all going to come around.
And there's also our advocacy, the side in us, the rah-rah side in us. I mean, when the hashtag representation matters came out years ago, it really resonated with me, because years and years ago, Filipinos, we were in the background, we were hidden, if we were hired as Mexicans, Native, First Nations, everything else but Filipinos. And then it switched over to the stereotype, especially with the women, Filipino women, caregivers, nannies, whatever. But now that hashtag representation matters has changed.
Yeah,
it has changed. It's gone all across the board. So yeah, sometimes I would take a gig that doesn't pay well or that doesn't pay because of the advocacy part. That is ever so important.
Just being there is important. And
being there. Yeah.
Like Carolyn said, when I started working professionally, I had agents say, you should change your name. You should use your Castillo, which was my mom's maiden name, because you'll probably work more as a Latina. Yeah. You should learn Spanish. Like you're not going to be cast as Asian because you don't look Asian enough. And you're not going to be cast as Filipino because people don't even know what that is. And now we have shows like The Cleaning Lady that centers around a Filipino story.
Yes.
And it's so amazing to see how far and how visible, and it continues, our community continues to be and to grow.
And can you imagine the next gen? They're looking at us now. I mean, I'm so happy I get cast in so many Lola roles. you know, that because the kids who are seeing themselves, and not just Filipinos, because to a child, it doesn't, nationality does not matter to a child. What they see is the dark hair, the eyes, the skin tone. So a First Nation child will see that and say, hey, I can do it too. The Filipino child will say, I can do that too. Whereas my generation, I had nothing. I saw Lou Diamond Phillips and I thought, oh, he's Mexican. But no, when I found out he was Filipino, I thought, why didn't they cast him as Filipino then? The things that would have changed. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Looks like we've got more people coming in and out here. So, and I'm getting note of that too on Twitch and Facebook. So I'm going to do a quick pause here to just reintroduce all of us. Welcome to the 9th Filipino Hollywood Actors Panel. I'm Ed Millan, your moderator for today. I'm also the host and producer of the web series Rise and Shine with Film Creative. And I'm here with Carolyn Faye and Martha Millan and Melanie Butiu. And so Melody, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. All right, I owe you coffee. I'm just kidding. But anyway, we are so happy that you're here with us today. And for those of you watching on Twitch and Facebook and Zoom, please continue to send in those questions. We're trying to get to as many as we can. We hit on a nice thread there in the last segment we had. We were talking about representation and whatnot. Talk about a dream role. What kind of a dream role did you have when you started? How about now? Has it changed? Does your dream role involve being a Filipino? Do you want to be in a Marvel movie? What if you can write your own ticket tomorrow, what are we doing? Carolyn.
In the beginning, I just wanted to work. So yeah, there was a lot of nanny roles, cleaning lady roles. But then as time went and the roles got meatier and age, as a matter of fact, like from mother roles now to grandmother roles, the vision has changed. I want a superhero Lola. I have two banners that I wave now, the representation of the Filipino culture, and ageism. I want that to be put under control. Ageism is as systematic as racism. It's in our industry, it's in the way we talk, it's in us. So I want a superhero Lola. I want that role. I've wished for playing the bad guy. I've had it, so I'm happy with that. A murdering grandmother. Yes.
I love it.
So I'm satisfied right now at this moment in my life. I am satisfied. So I am just now looking for a superhero Lola role. If it's out there, the chubby one is right here.
How about Martha?
I think right now I'm playing it. This is a dream role for me. I mean, you know, yeah, I've played every stereotype under the sun. I've also played Latina and everything. And but I think I'm very grateful for all of those experiences and opportunities because, you know, back in the day, you have to just not accept, but at the same time, in order to forge your way, you have to gain credits. And I think that opens doors. You meet, it exposes you to other opportunities. So, I mean, those are things that I'm still incredibly grateful for. What is changing now is the way that stereotypes are I guess being eliminated by humanizing those stereotypes in the narrative. The fact that, you know, I'm still playing a cleaning lady, but you know, you see the relationships, the dynamic that allow for a relatable story where everybody is dealing with the same issues of family, of you know, I mean, obviously these are extraordinary situations where I'm undocumented and there's a crime and she's in the mob and everything, but the foundation is all about family and relationships. And I think that's what's changing now, is that there is an audience that hungers for more content that they can relate to on a level where they are represented, because it's so empowering to see someone that you thought would never, you know, I never thought that I could be a series regular playing Filipino for a Filipino role. And so that was something so shocking to me when I read the script and I was like, what, they're doing this? And then on top of that, like, it was a network that was actually picking it up. And then after it being, you know, after the premiere and the season, the feedback is so positive and just so, I don't know, just so everybody's just embracing all this, and it's not just Filipinos that are represented, it's just every culture is in there. I mean, you know, you have the Mexicans, the Armenians, it's a very telling story of how the world is right now, because in every country you see immigration consistently, where everybody's represented in an office or, you know, in the classroom, whatever. So to portray a show that shows that is relatable, because that's how the world is now. Back in the day, it wasn't. So I understand that was just our situation. But with the evolution of how global we've become, it's necessary for a lot of these changes. And it's obviously, you know, beneficial for networks as well, because of the changes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. I love everything that's been said so far. Dream role. Oh, goodness. This question always stumps me, but I do feel like when I did Here Lies Love, where I played Estrella Kumpas. Here Lies Love is, for those who don't know, is a immersive disco musical written by David Byrne and Fatboy Slim about the rise and fall of Imelda Marcos and the People Power Revolution. And I played her Yaya Estrella. I played Imelda's Yaya. And when I saw the breakdown, when they were initially developing it, I looked at this character and I was like, oh, that's me. I'm supposed to do this. And it was like one of those things that it just felt right from the beginning that I am meant to play that role. So I would say that is one of my dream roles. And I'm so thankful that it came true and that I've had the opportunity to play the role a number of times. In the future dream roles, my goodness, I don't think, you know, like Carolyn said, I don't think it's written yet. You know, I feel like as I continue to just try to be in my bones and be in myself, I want I've always had like a maternal side of me. So even though I'm not a mother, I don't have children, but I bring big tita energy. And, you know, now that I'm, you know, kind of entering another phase in my career, you know, just wanting to be able to have an arc and have, like you said, Martha, is like you're playing a cleaning lady, but there's such a breadth of life beneath her and her history and her family and her relationships. And she's a survivor, and she's like, she will get knocked down and get back up again. And she's got, you know, fraught relationships with her kids, but she's doing her best. Like, you see all of that. And we never got to see that before, you know, before the cleaning lady just came in, is dusting, walks out, you know, it's like, oh, someone's here to see you. And then they walk away. So the fact that you get to have a full real life that's a dream. That's incredible. And, you know, to be able to tell stories, immigrant stories, you know, I remember I've had friends who are like, oh, I don't want to take a role that has an accent. And I'm like, my family has accents. I love accent. Like, I want to honor that. Like the fact that a person moved their entire life to start anew, that narrative still needs to be told, but it needs to be told with honor and respect and regard, and not be the butt of a joke, right? And so that's my goal in just continuing to do the work that we do.
And Melody, I think you hit on an important note there about the accents, because even now, I maybe I'm projecting here, but like I hear a lot of dialogue from Filipinos, from Asians about the accent. Like, well, should we have that? Is it disrespectful? Is it and I think you bring up a great point that is if it can be done respectfully in context, that's important. I've heard criticism of of even Joe Coy's bits, or of Kim's Convenience, which is like one of my favorite television shows. I love that show, and I've heard criticism about that. But yeah, we're walking a fine line now, and I think you hit on it there, that if things are presented appropriately, that's what a big thing is, that we've got to make sure that we're maintaining the integrity of the vision. So
I think there's a fear that it's making fun, or that's like the easy joke, right? Which I understand. Sure. But also, if you're bristling at an accent just because it's an accent, or you're bristling at an immigrant story, then you got to look in the mirror too and see, like, what is it about that that's triggering to me? What is it that's hurtful to me? And how can I move through that? Because immigrants have always been we're part of the tapestry of the American experience, or North American experience, and those stories should be told. We shouldn't be invisible. And for so long we've been invisible, right? So, to tell those stories and tell them in a way that celebrates and embraces, and, there's nothing I can do about people's opinions as far as like whether it's appropriate or not to use an accent. But like, I know, like with working with Joe, like he was so passionate about telling this story. Exactly. And so passionate about, saying, my mom's voice matters. Her opinion, her stories, her point of view matters. And if I can share that, that means all of our stories matter. And that's a huge thing I took away from working with him.
Amen. I'm looking at some of the questions here. Veronica, who's actually a friend of mine, she asked one of the questions a second ago. She also notes on here that I guess Edwin's going to bleep me out, but says you're all badasses and your origin stories are inspiring as So thank you, Veronica, for that. I'm going to get to a couple other questions here. This is from Matt De La Cruz. Matt, hello, and thank you for typing in this question. How do you all navigate the inconsistencies of this business and overcome the negativity that accompanies without being an actor? I'm currently a K-8 theater arts teacher, but would give it up in a heartbeat to pursue acting full-time, but move back home after a stint in New York City due to the struggles and family. How about that? And I feel like I don't want us to get too comfortable. Let's enjoy the spirit of keeping things fresh. Let's reverse the order. So let's let's go to Melody and then Martha and then Carol. So Martha, I'm sorry, you're still in the middle, but okay, she just left. But anyway,
she did. She was like, I don't like this order.
All right, Martha, you're going to be first next time. But anyway, so Melody,
oh my gosh,
Matt's question, Melody,
of navigating the ups and downs. It is always for me going to be a part of it, and has been a part of it. I've had my highest highs butted up right next to my lowest lows, and I have held a survival job all throughout. I still have a survival job, like just to supplement. It's a supplement job, but I still, I still do both. I understand. People think it. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for whatever other people who want to jump in completely, and if they can, great, but if you end up having to supplement or doing something else, that doesn't mean that you failed. You're still doing the work. You're still creating, you're still putting yourself out there, and there is gonna be tough. You know, there are tough times all the time, and you kind of, it's a crazy roller coaster, and you kind of just embrace it and know that your productivity, you know, doesn't define you as an artist. If you still believe in it, and if you still love it, you're going to find people to sit around in a living room and read a new play with. You're gonna find people to collaborate with and connect with, and find those things that bring you joy and that kind of light you up. And work will beget work. Like it might seem tough, and it might come across hard times, but you just, it's a long game. This is definitely about being a long game. So I don't give myself any kind of time restrictions, like I have to be at this point by this age or whatever, because none of that, all of that just goes out the window anyway. Because then once you set this specific goal as to what success means, then you're looking for the next thing anyway. So it's trying to like be present and continue without setting those kinds of limitations that will then define success or failure for you.
Am I still in?
I'm sorry, I tried to mix it up and it didn't work.
No. It's perfectly fine. Anyway. I think like in terms of, like I said before, you know, all we're trying to find is consistency, because this is such a volatile vocation but I think that's also what gets us, is because we have this like, I think, addiction of just wanting to see what's next, what's the next new thing, you know. Once you've booked it, even just booking a job, it's just like, yes, all right. And then it's like, all right, what do I do next? You know, for me, I know that was always what kept me going in terms of like working a job and then seeing where else it could lead. So I think that was my thought process. But obviously, yeah, in between, you're suffering. I'm not even gonna lie about that. You're dying. I'm like, for me, it was just, my dream was supposed to be like, all right, by the time I graduate from the academy, have a show, It's just like, no, it doesn't happen like that. You know, I remember someone saying, yeah, it took 20 years. And, you know, when you're young, you're like, no, it's not. It's not going to take 20 years. It's like, oh my God, it's taking 20 years. So I think with all that being said, just stay in the moment. I mean, and just don't take it so seriously, because the more you're going to be so heavy about it, the more that's the energy you're also going to bring into any room or anything like that. So that's something that I've learned, where it is about finding just your own groove in terms of handling what's in between the jobs, and knowing that there is going to be the next thing. But I think you have to just live a life in between it, and, you know, not have that dream so heavy on you that it's not a fun dream anymore. And, you know, there's moments where I was just like, why did I want to do this? And it's like, you know, I still couldn't leave. But I think the way to deal with it is just, as you said, you know, in between jobs. Like I used to teach online. I used to work at a hotel as well. I would do all those things in between, but just not having that dream become such a burden that, you know, you end up really not liking what you're doing anymore. So you have to find the balance, and that's always up to the individual.
Carolyn?
Yeah. A combination of what Melody and Martha said. There is a balance, there is a focus, and then there's the reality of eating, paying rent, paying mortgage, paying bills. You know, it is a tough life, what we have. We eventually grow a thick skin. We eventually learn to accept the negations that we receive. For every 100 no's from an audition, we get one. That is the success. I had to define what making it meant. If making it to me meant being able to pay my rent, my car, my bills, then I made it. Do I want to be that 1% millionaire in this entertainment industry? Sure, I would. But that also will bring another set of problems. So where I am now, I am able to pay my rent. I still get hundreds of negations from auditions. And it's still, it twitches in the heart and saying, oh, shoot, I really wanted that role. But then the same casting house calls back with another project. And there we go again with another hope. Get a thick skin. Keep that plan B right beside you. I would never do a plan B in the corporate world. I just can't. What I did, I went back to school to become a hairdresser. I haven't cut hair or dyed hair in 5 years now. But I keep my scissors sharp. I still know where to buy hair coloring and products, just in case. But I've just been blessed lately that I haven't had to use that skill, that plan B. But then again, maybe one day I will have to. So it's just persevere. Pain is temporary. We'll go through that. Every negation we get, it's a temporary thing because there will be something else coming. So yeah, chin up, shoulders back, bulldoze.
Amen. I like that. Here's a question from L. Rodriguez. Actually, she's got two, but I'll start with one here. L is a Canadian Filipino. I think we just lost someone. Did we just lose? I think we just lost. Okay, I think we lost Martha. All right. Well, the order will be different. Not in a good way though, because Martha's not here, but hopefully she'll come back. Here's a question from El Rodriguez. I'm a Canadian Filipino lawyer who wants to now focus on acting. What are the steps I need to take to land roles in films and television? And due to Martha's temporary absence, we will change the order. So let's go with Carolyn and then Melody.
I mean, Carolyn's from Canada anyway, so I'm like, she's the best person to answer this one.
I'm in Toronto. Hook up with me. Let's talk. Okay.
Drop your email in the questions there.
Yes. There's theater companies here in Toronto, and I'm sure across the country. Established theater companies have what they call the lawyer show, where they have a professional director, everything is professional, and then the lawyers do the show. They're on stage. Put your feet on that. If you're already there, at least with theater, you'll get some basic acting things if you haven't done formal acting training, but at least you'll start getting the network within the theater community, which leaks into the film and TV. That's how I got my into film and TV, through theater. Other than that, if you want to jump straight into film and TV, start off as a background worker because you need to know how it works. One does not step onto set and just, ta-da, I'm here. No, there's a lot of technicalities to know. There's a lot of protocols to know, especially these days, safety protocols to learn. That may be it. If you're a successful lawyer, know that maybe one day becoming a lawyer will be your plan B. So start at the basics right now, but there's a lot more to that, and I'm sure Melody can add to it. So hook up with me and we can talk.
It is asking in here for your email. Elle, if you just type your email in here, we will I'll forward it to Carolyn, and then she can get in contact with you. Melody, do you have any thoughts?
The only other thing I would add is if there are universities near you, student films, that's a great way to learn with people who are also learning, to get in front of the camera, to understand camera angles and understand, hitting your mark and learning a script and telling a story. I started in theater, as you know, as well. I have the theater background, and that's kind of how I got into. That's how I started working professionally. But working on student films, you can find grad programs. That's another great way to get some experience under your belt, and then start working that way.
And I'd like to thank Melody for the perfect timing, because she ended just as Martha came back in.
She's back.
Fantastic.
Hello.
I'm so sorry about that. I had a situation. I was just like, yeah, and then my internet, my laptop. I love technology.
It must be the chili peppers in Albuquerque. Yes. Okay. So we don't want to put Martha totally on the spot, but Martha, good news. We have changed the order just for you. So you go last this time.
Oh, okay.
And, just so that you get a second to regroup, I will throw out the question again. It was talking about, did I get rid of the question? Oh my gosh, I did. Oh, it's just the person was an attorney and how to get into doing film and television was Elle's question.
She was in Canada. Yeah.
Is it my time now?
Yeah.
Sorry.
just getting started for someone who wants to jump into into the business.
I think I jumped on in the middle of what Melody was saying, and student films is a great way. I think it's such a great way, because especially if you go to a very good school as well, whereas there was in New York, NYU, I think there's the Robert De Niro's Film and TV Academy, all of those, because that way you have access to all the equipment that you'll see on a normal set. So you have that kind of feel. Of course, it's going to be a student situation, but that way you can, just kind of get a feel of what a set would feel like, because all the students have access to really good equipment. But at the same time too, now the world's changing. You can do your own film and TV show, like anywhere, from your phone, whatever, from Zoom. Everybody became so creative during COVID. I think COVID upended so many situations that it really elevated creativity to another level, and people started creating their own shows through Zoom and stuff. So I think there's so many possibilities of getting into this industry. As long as you have an idea, or at least a true passion for it, even a curiosity, but as long as your curiosity is authentic, because if you're going in it just to kind of like make money and stuff, that's going to take a while. But you never know, you could just land that role and you could be like Wonder Woman,
Everyone's story is different. Yeah,
exactly. There's no one way. I did read in the chat that the attorney did some TV in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. The way the Philippines work is very, very, very different from the way North America works. We have unions. There are union rules. I'm talking from my Canadian experience. There are non-union gigs to be had. But camera angles in the Philippines, style in the Philippines is very different from North American TV, film. That's why, student films would be good, just to get your feet wet again. Yeah.
All right. Well, Elle, it looks like you've gotten a lot of great advice here. So I know that all of us here are wishing you the best of luck. And hopefully we'll be seeing your projects, whether they be on Netflix or on YouTube or on the big screen or TV, wherever. So good luck to you, Elle. And speaking of Elle, she has another question. And this one's for Martha. So Martha, we will change the order again.
It's working now.
I think for this one, you'll be first and second and last, because apparently it's just for Martha. So question for Martha, being Australian, how are you able to work as an actor in the US? Because that is my problem. I am Canadian and I want to audition for roles in the US. I have a feeling that the others can also add to this, but let's go ahead and start with Martha on this one.
Well, honestly, at that time when I started in Australia, there were no roles at all for me in Australia back then. You had to be blonde, first of all, to get onto TV.
in Australia back then. And then coming to America, I studied, so I got my visa, my student visa. But after that, I was modeling, after I graduated. So I got my model visa through that and then started working. And then those were just like my own avenues with that. But I have my green card, and that came from, well, everybody was like, just get married. I was like, no. No. That just came from building up credits. And that's why, for me, I'm so grateful for, even though they were all stereotype, credits, it shows on your IMDb and everything that you have been working. And so therefore, when the immigration process looks at your career, they see that you have that, and that, depending on just where the which administration is that you're also dealing with, they will either approve your application as an actor, green card. But that was my journey on that. And I think it was difficult. I went through every letter of I think of the visa. It's like you get the H-1B, the student B, but no, I finally got my green card, and that was just because they saw the work. But obviously you have to just give so much information as well. So
there are also a ton of US projects that shoot in Canada that are looking for Canadian actors.
Yep.
Absolutely. So
There's a lot.
There's I mean, they're shooting all across Canada, Toronto,
I just finished
Vancouver.
one.
I know. We shot Easter Sunday in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's it. Two Sentence Horror Stories is Canadian, Canadian shots.
Yeah. Elena Watko was in Easter Sunday. She plays Regina, and she's a Canadian. She's a Filipino Canadian actor. So there's definitely, don't think that there aren't opportunities in Canada, because there are a ton. And even US productions that shoot in Canada are always looking for really great, talented Canadian actors.
But if you do insist on crossing the border, you're going to need, as a Canadian, you're going to need an O1 visa, and that you have to prove that you have a track record. Every article that's written about you, every award, every IMDb, and then some letters of references from industry professionals in Canada and the States, because technically speaking, they don't want American actors to lose out on jobs. And it's the same way the other way around. They don't want Canadian actors to lose their jobs in Canada for anybody coming in. So you need an O1 visa, and that is for some very expensive, for some depending on your financial status, but there is a lot of paperwork. An immigration lawyer can, you're an attorney, an immigration lawyer can tell you what will be needed. Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm getting word that we've got some new people on Twitch and from Facebook and here in Zoom. So once again, I'll just do a quick break. I'm Ed Millan, the host and producer of the web series Rise and Shine, and I'm moderating today. I'm happy to do so for Edwin for the Hollywood Actors Panel. It's our 9th time. This is awesome. And want to welcome our 3 actors today who have been giving, and if you are late today, silly you've been missing some good stuff here. So we are so happy to be here with Carolyn and Martha and Melody. I don't know where Melanie is. She's nowhere to be found, but Melody is here. But we're so happy to be with you all today. Please continue to get those questions in here. We've got about 20-30 minutes left on our panel, depending on how many questions we get. But if you've got them on Facebook or Zoom or Twitch, keep them coming. A nice person here. I think I know who this is. Anonymous attendee. Hi, Ed. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, I know who you are. I won't say who that is, but good afternoon to you. Let's see. I think I have gotten through the L questions. And I'll just make a note here for Carolyn that she did put in the section here her email and her phone. So I'll just leave that to you, Carolyn, to attend to that as you see fit. I've got some questions here that Edwin had emailed from previously. So I'm going to get to these now. And again, I am encouraging everyone to go ahead and get those questions in if you haven't yet. But here's some individualized questions that Edwin did want me to get to. So I'll start with Melody. Melody, how was it like working with other Filipino actors like Jokoy and Tia Carrera, and also with Eugene Cordero and Rodney Toe on Easter Sunday? So talk about your experience. I mean, obviously the movie is coming out my birthday week, by the way.
Yay, happy birthday. It's
you.
coming out August 5th, Easter
Yes.
Sunday, which is the ultimate Filipino time. It's like several months late, but that's fine. Working with I believe I've been told that it is the first studio-backed feature featuring a Filipino American family. It was produced by Amblin and Rideback and distributed by Universal. And I'm so proud and excited and just thrilled to be a part of it, and to work with other Filipinos who, you know, Tia Carrera, Wayne's World, she played Chinese. Lou Diamond Phillips, as Carolyn had mentioned before, had played Mexican, had played Native. And so even for them who've had, you know, decades of experience, have said, you know, this is one of the very first times, one of the very few times that I've gotten to play Filipino, means so much. And to work with, you know, like you mentioned, Eugene Cordero, Rodney Toe, Joey Gila, Elena Watko, Lydia Gaston, who is so stunning and amazing as Joe's mom. It really was such an incredible, joyful, humbling, and just a beautiful experience to create this family together. And it's multi-generational. Some people who have accents, some people who don't, you know, because it just kind of spans that whole experience. And to create a fun, you know, just silly and joyful, celebratory American Filipino story was just incredible. Our before we started a lot of the shooting as a family, we had one day where we did family photos so they could have, you know, photos for around the house and stuff like that. And so there was like no pressure as far as like shooting a scene or anything. We just got to like hang out. We turned up the music, you know, put on different outfits and just got to know each other as a family. And it just gelled from the beginning. We were just cracking each other up, making jokes, you know, every time they pulled out, you know, different props or different like Filipino food and stuff. We're like just so excited. And like our first day on set in our home, just to walk around and go, oh my gosh, this feels so Filipino. You know, what's so remarkable about it is it's not remarkable for us, you know, it's like every day for us to walk in and completely identify with the space and the people was just such an incredible gift. And I don't know, I'm really excited to just share it with everyone. And I play Tita Yvonne, so I'm, you know, one of the family members. It's kind of like a big Filipino family. So you know, I just bring a lot of, like I said, big Tita energy, just joyful in your business, doesn't know personal boundaries, you know, but likes to have a good time. It's a lot of that. But yeah, and to have Joe leading and to have Joe at the helm, someone who has really made such a big part of his career of sharing himself and his personal stories, his personal experience, and seeing the value in that. And even if he has been told, you know, well, no one's going to get that, or no one's going to understand that story, he's like, well, no, the story deserves to be told. And, you know, who are you to silence my experience and my voice? And So his mission and his passion to just share this side and not let it be, he's a comedian, but he doesn't want the Filipino, being Filipino, to be a joke. Like, he really has so much heart and passion in just sharing this side that doesn't get seen very often.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Carolyn, this is for you. How was it like working with other Filipino actors like Joshua De La Cruz on Blues Clues and You, and with Isabel in the ensemble Abroad?
It's amazing. There is a shortcut that happens when you're working with Kapwa. There's no explanation that has to be done. It's because we know our mannerisms, we know our culture, we know the isms of being Filipino, that when we go on set, there's a shortcut that happens and the magic just flows. Abroad is a new series here in Canada, the first ever of Filipino sketch comedy series, Tagalog, the first bilingual English Tagalog, because in Canada it's French and English usually when we say bilingual. Now it's English Tagalog. So when I'm speaking Tagalog, the subtitles are in English, and then I switch to English, the subtitles are in Tagalog. That has never been done here in Canada. I don't know about the States, I'm not familiar with it, but and it's such an honor to represent the daily lives of a Filipino family and what goes on. Isabel Canan, and it started from TikTok, her TikTok posts, becoming a sketch comedy series. There's something happening in Canada where it's Filipino time. It's an actual saying, actually. Oras na natin ngayon. It's our time now. Filipino plays, Filipino shows, Filipino radio, Filipino music. It's out there now. It's our time. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Martha, for you, talk about your experiences working with Miranda Kwok and Elodie Young and a mostly Asian cast on The Cleaning Lady.
It's incredible. I mean, I've never worked on a set before where there was just such open communication with executive producers, directors. There was never this kind of hierarchy, because when you're on set, I mean, for me, I've always done guest star roles, so you come in and you're the guest and you shouldn't talk to this or do. Those were the things that I remembered, while I was working. So whenever a guest star would come on, everybody would just treat each other like they were part of the set as well. And that is a testament to the executive producers, Miranda Kwok, Melissa Carter, and then all the cast, like Elodie Young is incredible in it. That we're all just very down to earth and really connected with each other. So I think that's what's conducive to producing, good shows as well. So it's incredible. I have I don't know, I have to get more words other than incredible.
Awesome. And just a reminder that The Cleaning Lady's second season premiere is September 19th on Fox. So we hope that you will check that out, just as we hope we'll see you on August 5th for Easter Sunday. Looks like we've got a couple more questions here from Twitch. This is from Twitty Girl 12. Has a question about typecasting. Have you all been typecast, and how does it make it harder to find an acting job? Talk about typecasting. Great question, by the way. Thank you from our friend on Twitch. Let's start with Martha, then to Melody, then Carolyn.
Yeah, okay, I'm first now. Typecasting. I mean, I think, growing up being Asian, straight away you're already typecasted, regardless of whether you're on a show or working a normal job in general. I mean, for me, growing up in Australia was quite challenging, but it's definitely made me who I am these days. And I think like moving to New York has just, I think I've broken through those typecasts, because New York is a place where, you know, it's all about how you show up. And it's not about where you come from, because everybody is from everywhere. So it's about what you bring to the table, and, you know, but in terms of like breaking through typecasts, you know, I think now is the time where things are changing. I think we've been talking about this throughout the whole panel, the representation, the acknowledgement of the fact that, you know, there's social media has, you know, broken the doors for just exploring everybody's culture. So a lot of this generation now, who are exposed to that, they're aware of the fact that it's not just the mainstream of a primarily white cast. They know that there's a world out there that involves so many different cultures, so that you need to, I guess, you know, address these cravings from everybody and create such content and movies like, you know, Easter Sunday and The Cleaning Lady, because people are aware of these cultures now. Whereas back in the day, yeah, you know, what Carolyn was saying, there was the representation that was portrayed was just the typecast, and it was just like going in and out, saying maybe one or two lines and getting out. So now breaking through that, I think it's limitless. I think in all essence, you shouldn't go in thinking about that you're a typecast. You got to think about your work too. I think that is the bottom line. You can't go in, it's like, oh, they're already judging me on it, because then they will. And that's exactly what you're going to produce. Go in with really strong choices and trust in the work that you're doing, and don't worry about what you look like, because it's already there. You should just like focus on the things you can control, and the things that you can bring to the table. Hope that answers the question.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I think, yeah, I mean, people are just going to come with their perceptions, because that's how humans work, right? They see you and they have an impression, whether it's based on reality or based on something they've seen on TV or based on, you know, a past experience. You have no control over that. That being said, you know, we can get material that does not feel authentic, or get material that feels, you know, two-dimensional. And then it's our job to create a real living, breathing human person, and bring our experience and our point of view to those roles, to create a fuller role. And I honestly, I am constantly inspired by people who are younger than me. You know, some other people in Easter Sunday, even Noblezada, I mean, you know, Tony nominee, I mean, Broadway star, and Brendan Wardell, who's an incredible young stand-up comic. Everyone came from like different backgrounds, and to just constantly be inspired and excited is so great to me. But you know, with stereotypes or with typecasting, you know, there are some people who thrive, like who just like, they know what their type is. Like there's nothing wrong with knowing your type, and then exploding in that, and then expanding on that, and bringing all of your experience to that. I have twice played Bloody Mary in South Pacific. And when I first, you know, the first few times I had auditioned for that role, I would read the sides and be like, I don't like this. I don't like this character. It's really cringy. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't know what I'm doing, you know. But at the times that I've actually gotten to work on it, I've had directors who really wanted to explore her strengths, her motivation, her humor, and her salesmanship, but make her badass and fierce and a survivor, and someone who is willing to do anything for the safety and future of her child, you know, and bringing all of that and bringing that breadth of humanity and experience to a character that I had in the past viewed as very stereotypical and very upsetting even, was a great challenge and something that I, you know, have to keep in mind as you tackle roles that might feel like typecasting.
Carolyn?
Yeah, typecasting. Yeah, you saw my resume in the beginning when I started. But just remember, we are not one-dimensional beings. Our lives, our experience, who we are, we bring a piece of to the script and to the screen or stage, whichever medium we're working with at the moment. And all that experience we lived in our personal lives, it will just add that extra spice, that je ne sais quoi, that just makes that stereotypical typecasted character shine. It's all about that. And also, more and more actors that I've worked with, they're now creating stories, they're writing stories so that we and their colleagues and their kapwa can be represented on stage. I just finished writing 2 plays, and guess what? They're Filipinos. Filipinos normalized in a situation in the diaspora. This is who we are. And what's going to happen? One is a horror story. One is a story about an older Filipina. So we're not one-dimensional. If one feels that they're always doing the same role and cannot find a way out of it, then create your own story. Make it, and then put it up on stage like Isabel Canaan did. She created it with TikTok. And now she pitched it to a network and it's out there. It's up to us. Thank you.
Absolutely. The same person, Twitty Girl 12, she did ask any resource suggestions like groups, acting classes. She's from the Bay Area, but any groups or acting classes you can suggest to actors starting out? Maybe we'll stay with the same order. So Martha, then Melody, then Carolyn.
I think just like, you know, go to like audit classes, audit the class first, see, because different people respond to different teachers, also different techniques, etc. Expose yourself to as many different techniques. For me, like, you know, after going to the academy, I was in and out of classes at the Schreiber Studios, but this is in New York. I don't know that you're in the Bay Area, but in general, there's so many classes online now too, that you can just like jump on and just see what's going on. And I don't have any specific ones. I used to teach kids, so I would teach kids online and everything. So it's always about the individual. So I'm sorry, I don't have any suggestions.
Melody.
Classes. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I would try to see as much theater as I can in the Bay Area. There are some incredible Filipino American artists performing who are up there doing incredible work. There's Jomar Tagatak, Vinabeth Apostol, Magic Theater some years ago did a production of Jessica Hagedorn's Dog Eaters. When I did a show at ACT, Monstrous, which was Filipino American stories based on short stories by Leslie Tenorio. So there are definitely works to be seen, and from there, I think there's a theater company called Bindle Stiff in the Bay Area that is primarily Filipino American artists. that you can connect with and create that community, and then find resources and classes and opportunities to also, to work and to also support. I would definitely start there. There are some theater companies that really are excited about doing Asian American works, especially in the Bay Area.
Carolyn.
Theater companies, the established ones, usually have an education department because they have to generate revenues to keep the theater alive. Sometimes they do have good, they really do have good acting classes, stage classes, scene study classes. I know in New York, there's a Filipino-led theater company. The names slips by my there it is. So there's that, and I know there are training, there's an education department, but I think the person's in the Bay Area, so I wouldn't know. But hit on the theater companies. There are community colleges even that give basic training. I mean, I give personal coaching one-on-one for specific actors that that are already somewhere in their careers, but for beginners, colleges, after school programs, depending on how old the person asked the question, community activities, community theater. Nothing to spit out with community theater. It's the best learning experience one can have, from A to Z, from memorizing the script to analyzing the script, and then just to taking your final bow on stage. That's what I can think of.
Absolutely. We're in wrap-up mode now because we've only got a few minutes left here. So again, we did want to thank everybody on Twitch and on Facebook and here on Zoom. And I do want to give a shout out to my favorite tater tot casserole chef, Arlene De La Pina, all the way from Hawaii, who's watching us today. She's a fabulous human being. Hello, Arlene. She's sitting here texting me right now saying, wait, I need to think of a question here, but it's okay, Arlene, because I had your name on here. I said your name. So, and shout out to everyone who's watching us. I can only see the Zoom feed, but Edwin's telling me that a lot of folks on Twitter and on Twitch and Facebook are watching as well. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to do this. I want to go around the room. Sorry, I was a teacher before, so I have to say that, around the room. Let's go around the Zoom. And what I want you all to do is give me your social media handles, whatever you want to promote, and where we can find you all on social media, because obviously we want to get this dialogue continuing. We would like everybody who's watching us, whether it be now live or in the future when Edwin posts this on his YouTube page, that they can find you online and support your great careers, what you're currently doing and what you will be doing in the future. So let's go around the Zoom. Tell us where to find you on social media and what you're currently doing and what's coming up. So let's go back to the classic order. So we'll start with Carolyn.
My handle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, I don't TikTok, sorry, I don't TikTok, is the Carolyn Faye. So type that in Facebook, you'll find me. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you'll find me. The other question was what's happening now? I just finished shooting in Niagara Falls, an indie film called The Legacy of Cloudy Falls. It's an American production. If the attorney is listening, it's an American production.
It's for you, Elle.
Yeah, it's up here in Canada. What's next is I'll be going back to the theater in August to do a classic, Uncle Vanya by Chekhov.
Oh, great.
I'll be in that play. But in between, and Mondays, because we're dark on Mondays in the theater, I do voiceovers for Pinecone and Pony, for Work It Out Wombats. There's a lot of cartoons that my voice has, so that keeps me busy. That's what's up.
All right. How about Martha?
Oh, I was like, oh, we're back to the middle. Okay, gotcha. I'm terrible with social media. I mean, I pretty much just do it because I was told to do it. But I am on Instagram, Martha Millan NYC, and then on Facebook. It's just so, I don't know how everybody does it all, like, and then on Twitter, I just end up retweeting on Twitter. I don't even tweet. I say retweet. And my Twitter handle is Millan_NYC. Facebook, I don't even know my face. I think it's just Martha Millan. Yeah, I think you can just type in Martha Millan, see if you could find that. So Martha Millan NYC, basically, I'm branding my New York roots. So what's coming up? I just finished shooting Elodie Young's first directorial film. It's a short. Yeah, so it was wonderful to work with her from that perspective, and it's called Happy Ending. So I'm not sure when that's going to come out. I'm shooting a Hulu movie next week. It's called Merry Kiss Cam. It's starring Katie Lowe in it, and then the following couple of weeks I'm just going to be pretty much shooting season 2 of The Cleaning Lady right up until we finish all the episodes. So that's obviously premiering September 19, The Cleaning Lady on Fox on Mondays, and I believe yeah, it's going to be on Mondays this time. We're following 911.
Awesome. And Melody.
Okay, so let's see. My Twitter handle is Melody Butiu, Butiu. My Instagram is The Melody Butiu, so pretty simple. Facebook, I don't really have like a artist page or a professional page. It's really just like me. It's just more personal. So let's see. As Martha, I don't tweet a lot. Most of my tweets are Melody posted something on Instagram. Those are my tweets. And then retweets on occasion and stuff. Obviously, Easter Sunday is the big project that's coming out in theaters August 5th, and I am doing a reading of a new play at South Coast Repertory in Costa Mesa. That's going to be on June 27th. And I'm excited about it. It's called Funnie, Funnie. And so I'm excited I love working on new works and new plays and being able to ask questions and dig in. So I'm excited about that. And then other than that, girls, I mean, it's just a grind. It's just, audition. So that's my life. That's my life right now. And then, spending time with my nephews when I can, walking along the beach, all that, just living life like we do in between. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, well, we also have some handles to share here for Fat Show. You can follow Fat Show Hollywood. You can follow this panel on Twitter at Actors Panel. So Twitter at Actors Panel. And on Facebook, you can find the panel at Filipino Hollywood Actors Panel. That's Filipino Hollywood Actors Panel. And on Instagram at Filipino Hollywood. And as I said, I host a show called Rise and Shine with Philam Creative. Maybe these 3 nice actors will do me the favor and appear on season 3, which is coming out this fall. We'd love to have you there. Shout out to my brother Rex Sampaga, who is also in the audience watching. He and I co-host, exactly. So you can follow us on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter, and it's all the same. It's Rise and Shine FAC. That's Rise and Shine FAC. And if you can't find us, I'm sorry. But anyway, Hopefully you will. But I do want to thank Edwin for letting me host this. This is my third time hosting it, and Edwin is a friend of mine, and he also, big secret, he used to be with us at Philam Creative. So we're always happy to support our friends at Fat Show. So I feel like on behalf of Philam Creative, we were happy to come out and support today. But we really hope that you've enjoyed this panel. I know that Edwin is going to put this on his YouTube page somewhere down the line. So please support that, and please support the wonderful work that Carolyn and Martha and Melody do. And I don't know where Melanie is, but support her too. Now, Edwin did want me to close. We'll probably say some quick closing comments, but he did want to do, just before we close, to show the trailer of Easter Sunday. So I'm assuming that at some point Edwin is, or actually right now, is amping that up, and we'll do that. And then after the trailer, we'll come back and say a quick farewell. So Edwin, go ahead and roll the trailer for Easter Sunday.
Joseph, are you coming for Easter?
I don't know, Mom. I'm really busy. I just tested for this pilot.
You're going to be a pilot?
A network pilot for like a TV show.
Ah, you're playing a pilot on the TV show.
No, a lawyer.
You could have been a lawyer if you only applied yourself.
Little father and son road trip. It's gonna be fun. Easter Sunday is like the Filipino Super Bowl.
There he is. There's my kuya.
Welcome home, bro. See you tonight, okay?
I just got here.
You got to follow your dream and become a beer spokesman.
That wasn't my dream.
Let's get the party started, baby!
And I got to follow mom's dream and become a nurse.
Joe? Vanessa.
Yeah, Joe Valencia. You still driving that same raggedy-ass car? What happened? You just gave up, huh? And this your dad? You know, me and him used to be real intimate back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could have been your mama. But clearly I'm not.
Yeah.
I've literally never seen this many Filipinos in the same place before.
We're sending gifts to our family in the Philippines. I'm sending this brand new hairdryer. If it makes your hair look like that, I wouldn't send it. How dare you? How dare you?
We should put them both in the box and ship it.
My mom is at war with my Tita Teresa, and they don't even know why. Did you really have to wear the same dress as my mom?
Oh, I can't help it if I wear it better. This is war. Oops.
Family is a mess.
We're counting on you to fix it.
Bye!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're all we got. So let's get the party started, baby! I got a feeling. Moments like these are few and far between. Let's enjoy it. Everyone buckle up.
Filipino families fight a lot,
Make sure you're not late for dinner.
but we love a lot too.
Your cousin Eugene owes me a lot of money. Could you lend it to me?
No!
Does he have a death wish? Deluxe is legit crazy. I once saw him shoot someone in the dick.
What?
Right in the actual hole.
In the hole.
Here we go! Here we go! We gotta rock! Where is my money?
Here are my ATM cards. My PIN number is 1217. Oh, so is mine.
No, ours,
Mine too. Mine too. Yeah.
Why do you all have the same PIN number?
It's Manny Pacquiao's birthday.
Oh, right. The guy who couldn't beat Mayweather.
Nessa, can we go get coffee?
You can go ahead and email me. Pretty much the same. Just take the AOL off.
That bitch Nessa
At
dailycity.gov. Got it.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is August 5th. August 5th in theaters near you everywhere. So please go watch that.
You want a golden open.
Absolutely. And watch season 2 of The Cleaning Lady on September 9th, right? September 9th?
19.
Sorry, 19. Okay. And Carolyn, your play, Vanya, when is that coming out?
It's August. Oh, no, sorry. I go in rehearsal August 3rd. So we go on stage mid-September.
Mid-September. All right.
But
so
you can watch Blue's Clues and You for Lola.
That's right.
there you go.
Lola's there.
There you go. All right. So please, please, please support these 3 great actors. Please support me. Watch Rise and Shine. And again, thank you so much to Edwin and Fat Show. We're very grateful for this. And I guess we're going to put a bow on this and wrap it up. So thank you all for watching. You guys have a great day. Good luck with all your future projects. And we'll see you on the 10th.
This was such a pleasure. Thank you, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Mahal ko kayo.
Mahal kita.
Bye bye.